Oh yeah, we're not supposed to see anybody. Like,
I can't see anyone. You could have said that right before I pressed the live button.
Well, I forgot we were discussing stuff.
I forgot. I can only see Johnny, but I guess it doesn't really matter.
Well, it's an easy fix for me, but you could have said this.
Dude, I'm rusty, man. I haven't. I've been like a month. I feel like since I've been here.
We're live.
Okay.
And I'm gonna press this button right here, which starts my virtual camera, and I'm gonna press this button, and now you should be able to see us. So, there we go. Yay, we made it. Plat Chat Overwatch.
Yippee!
Episode 208. I gotta apologize.
What an intro.
We're 30 minutes late here. I hope the audio is fine. If the audio is not fine, let me know in the chat, because I've been messing around with my mixer for 30 minutes. I really tried. I really tried to make a fun segment happen for today's show. Took me 3 hours. Woke up at 7 a.m. trying to make this work. And Solomon is not here, so I couldn't make it work, and it was all for nothing. So we'll save it for next show. So next show is going to be an absolute banger. I promise you. But
let's boo Solomon. Let's all boo Solomon. Everyone, thumbs down Solomon in chat. Thumbs down Solomon.
He's back soon, don't worry. The podcast will be saved when he gets back.
I know he does. He does have something to do with this, because
if he was here, he would have saved us.
He's supposed to make it work, okay? We're just grugs. We're 4 grugs, and he's supposed to make it work. He's the genius, the typical boy genius.
That's true. I feel so incapable compared to Solomon, but at least it's a show. You know, we can carry this episode with our sheer personality and sense of humor and intellect.
That's what people say about me.
And knowledge.
Yeah. Sure thing, buddy.
Yeah. It's been a while.
Vast known for those.
I mean, I traveled, left for the holidays on like December 16th. Dude, I fucking flew all over the continental US.
Same.
And outside the US. I mean, I went to Toronto, then I came back from Toronto to experience my first Canadian winter. I was like, holy shit, it's cold as fuck. And then because as someone that's only lived in California, Texas, or Florida, I was like, damn, this is cold as shit. Then I went to New York. They couldn't get the sky bridge attached, so I couldn't get off the plane, but they unloaded the bags and sent them to DC because my brother was graduating from like this Marine Corps thing in DC. So then I had to take a train to DC and pay like ridiculous prices. It's like $220 to take an Amtrak in the US, and it was the same level of quality of a train that I paid $20 in Italy for. It's like the same quality. So I was like, fuck that. And then I flew to Texas, then I flew to Arkansas, then I back to Texas, then back to Florida. So then I flew a lot over the holidays. So
you get
I didn't get back. No, because my mother works for Southwest, and I flew a lot on Southwest, which also, listen, Mom, if you're watching, which you probably aren't, love Southwest, love the flights, but I hate their fucking boarding process so much because there's no assigned seats. There's no assigned seats on Southwest. You walk in, it's just based off your group, and you just sit down and hope to grab a seat. And luckily, I'm alpha as fuck. So I'll like walk in past someone, and someone's like clearly trying to like save the seat next to them. Be like, oh, no one's going to sit next to me. I'm like, is this seat taken? And I'll just fucking squat my ass down there 10 times out of 10 if it's close to the front. Because I don't give a shit. I'm like, as Southwest process, it already sucks. So I'm just like going to go
It's just a free-for-all. You just do what you want. You just walk up and take a seat.
It's crazy that flights still do that. That they don't have Southwest seating.
It's only in America, at least. I think it's pretty much, it's literally the only, and they keep, and she has told me this is directly from a Southwest employee. She's like, we've done the polls, the people love it. And I'm like, what people are these? The people that love the Hunger Games? Like this shit is like all like everyone's just fighting for their lives. Like I see like older people, I'm like trampling them underfoot to get to the proper seat. You know, like I'm just like small kids shoving them out the way because there's no law and order. I'm like, the strongest will survive here on the Southwest flight. Okay, Alaskan Airlines are losing their doors and shit. I'm gonna be better in position. Okay, I'm taking my spot.
I'm not taking the window seat.
He's trampling. He's shoving. He's trampling.
I'm trampling. I actually did say that exact. I wanted to avoid doing that because I feel like that intonation for the joke is gone so far. But I actually, the first time I told that story, I said I'm shoving. I'm there underfoot. Like I'm just like adding like.
It's still funny to me.
There.
I'm still enjoying it.
It is. It is a good intonation. That's a rant. That's it.
I appreciate your rant. Yeah.
You went around a lot, Johnny. I saw you in Miami.
Yeah.
We missed each other.
Oh yeah. Went to Miami for a day. Was in London. Then drove around a bit. In Florida. Yeah. I miss out on meeting you guys too. I don't know. For some reason in the US, like I get to a state and I'm like, oh, this person lives in this state. But then you're like, oh, it's like a 5-hour drive away. And so like you feel connected in some way, but you're not actually that connected. So.
You're the same state, not the same city.
Well, Miami would have been a 40-minute drive. It would have been very doable for myself.
Really? Oh, really?
Yeah.
Were you close?
Yeah.
Are you close to Miami?
I'm 45 minutes outside of Miami around there. Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Like
maybe
40-ish,
I should have asked. Maybe I should have.
Well, I know when you were there, I wasn't there because I was in Texas.
True. Yeah.
That's why I said we missed each other.
Yeah.
Because if I had been there, I would have asked you.
Yeah. I was only there for
because I care about you.
So we'll get.
But you don't care about me.
To meet
That's
each
fine.
other later in 20.
Did you visit Jaws in the UK?
No, I did not either. No, because I mean, Jaws, you're like up in the
I wasn't in the UK.
Right? Oh, you weren't in the UK? See, we're just missing each other.
Dude, he doesn't ask. He doesn't even ask. He doesn't care. He doesn't give a shit.
What do you mean?
Bro does not give a shit.
I'm not the North. Josh is the most northern Brit out of like the Plat Chat people. What the fuck? The North? I'm the furthest south we could possibly fucking be.
Oh, you're like in Southampton or something?
I'm the furthest south you could possibly be in the UK.
He's in Brampton.
I've heard that that's posh.
Brampton.
To be south in the UK, isn't that like where the fancy people
Posher than the North? Yeah, sure.
All right.
I mean, there are posh places everywhere. To be fair, it's not exclusively the south. But
so Jack, you live in Dawn,
or anything.
and you live in Dawn, and Josh lives beyond the massive ice wall.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, anything further than London is like the massive ice wall, and then it's basically like Namalsk, the DayZ map, and it just gets progressively worse as you scroll.
I know that reference.
If you go further and further, like you do in Namalsk, it gets more and more deadly and dangerous. That's Josh lives in there somewhere. Yeah. There you go. That's for your DayZ heads. Yeah, Namalsk. The UK is Namalsk right now. It's so fucking cold. It sucks. I hate it.
Yeah, there was like a cold front in Sweden too. This is so boring to listen to. I can imagine, but it was like a cold
weather
front
segment. Weather segment of Plat Chat Overwatch.
Got a fun fact.
There was like
hey guys, there's a lot of fronts here moving in from the east.
Sweden, so.
They're coming through. Like you're gonna expect some light scattered showers if you're in the south. We're just gonna do that.
This is what the fun segment's getting replaced with. Whatever Johnny's segment was, is now we're just now the weather channel is what we're doing right now.
Oh boy.
This, by the way, is the most international Plat Chat episode maybe ever.
True.
On 4 different time zones.
Done this on UK, LA, fucking Miami, and Australia. That's so true, actually.
Yeah.
Damn.
Things are looking up. We've gotten more international. It must be a really good year for esports coming up.
Yeah, it's going to be a really good year. Really good.
We're going global.
We're going to all lose our jobs if no one took the hint in chat.
We're going global. You know what else is going global?
Why?
What's going global?
ExpressVPN, buddy. ExpressVPN is going global. That's right. ExpressVPN is Plat Chat's premier choice when it comes to VPNs. You should really look into ExpressVPN if you're planning to connect to some of those shady little links there on the internet. You know what I'm talking about in 2024. Going online without ExpressVPN is like using your smartphone without a protective case. Most of the time, you'll probably be fine. But all it takes is one accidental drop onto solid concrete to make you wish you had protected yourselves. Every time you connect to an unencrypted network in cafes, hotels, airports, etc., your online data is not secured. Any hacker on the same network can gain access to and steal your personal data, passwords, financial details. It's meant to just be me, but I feel like there's been an anecdotal uptick in just like people getting hacked and stuff like that on the internet and just stealing your information and stuff like that. So
Johnny's cybersecurity knowledge. I think there's been an uptick in hacking recently.
There's a feeling in the wind.
There's some hacking going on.
And there's a bunch of people being hacked on Twitter. And am I the only one?
I'm not. I mean, Mr. Beast got all of his channels hacked.
Yeah, and I'm like, how does this happen? Well, maybe it's because you're not using a VPN. Okay, ExpressVPN helps with that. All right, it would take a hacker with a supercomputer over 1 billion years to get past ExpressVPN's encryption. All right, that's how good it is. So, if you want to secure a deal, you can go to expressvpn.com/Overwatch, okay? You have to include the /Overwatch in there, all right? Do you get it, guys? You get it?
I still can't believe that. We represent all Overwatch. I love that.
/Overwatch.
I was using it in the airport, actually, when I flew back. It's
very useful
handy.
when you can download, because in certain regions, like Netflix, you can only download certain things in a region for like saving it on your Netflix app. And if you're on the VPN, and as soon as you exit the region, it's like, okay, can't access the content anymore. So I was gonna say VPN, let's go hard.
Me being Avast pilled, me with the Asus ROG Ally in the airport wanting to download Steam.
You're doing a separate ad read.
I connected to ExpressVPN and was downloading stuff. It was easy as pie.
Okay, this is gonna be
just a Windows machine
for PLATCHAT. All right, we got stuff in the pipeline, and it starts out here the 11th of January 2024. Look at this. They got us a custom web page for PLATCHAT Overwatch. Okay. You get
custom web page?
3 extra months with a 12-month
there you
plan,
go.
okay? So if you go to expressvpn.com/Overwatch, you can get 3 extra months for free with a 12-month plan, okay? Secure your deal with ExpressVPN today. It's PLATCHAT's VPN of choice, and you can get yourself a really good deal, all right? So there you go.
Good.
There you go. Thank you so much, ExpressVPN, for supporting the show.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Good.
ExpressVPN. Thank
Yeah,
you so
go
much.
global.
Thank you.
Go
Thank
global.
you so much.
Go global.
We
All
need
right,
this so bad.
Today, we got patch notes to talk about. And besides that,
Then we'll see you next week, guys.
Yeah, we'll see you next week.
Actually, let's talk about
Chengdu Hunters?
huh? Look at that.
Oh, look at that.
Chengdu
Whoa.
Hunters.
I
Yeah, I see
ordered
you.
this in the middle of last season, thinking like better get it before it's gone. And guess what? It's gone.
gone.
So yeah,
I
it's looking
do-
pretty clean.
There is like a small topic that I would like to touch on in regards to like the patch notes and stuff. I'm not sure if it's in the patch notes, but we'll do the patch notes first, and then there's like an interesting take I want you guys to hear, and I want your take on that shit. But yeah, we'll do patch notes first though.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
There you go, expressvpn.com.
yeah. I'm just, I'll just leave that up there for a while. If
Yeah, there you go.
If you're
Slash
just
Overwatch.
tuning in, just like that's the link. That's the link you gotta go to, and you can get yourself a nice little deal there. So, yeah, obviously we had the mid-season patch, which was a long time coming. All right, because I listened to the episode that AVRL did with Custa and Hawk and Funny Astro, and what you're just preaching the entire time about MAUGA, just like, oh my god, one of the worst metas of all time. I played a week of ranked and I was like, this is genuinely terrible. And they finally nerfed MAUGA. So is this going to be enough, AVRL? What do you think?
I thought it was pretty light. Although the no infinite ammo thing is very interesting, the cage fight. I still think just the general design is not very good and not very healthy for the game. This is the type of hero that it's just going to be
Yes, AVRL.
feast or famine, total feast or famine. I don't know if he's dead yet. I haven't played MAUGA on the mid-season patch. I played against him because I've actually played the most Overwatch I've played in a long time. I played the most Overwatch since, when was the last time I played this much Overwatch? In preparation for the 2021 talent takedown. That was the last time I played this much Overwatch.
Oh my god.
I've been a bit of a quick play warrior recently. I don't know. I'm that bored. I'm that bored that I've been a quick play warrior. I played against MAUGA. I don't know. He still seems fine. It's hard to know, man. Like, I'm not in ranked and I'm not a very high ranked player anyway. So it's like, I'm not going to get the best read on it. I'd be interested to see what the pros take on it is. Going across different social medias, it seems like some people just assume he's dead. I haven't experienced the patch long enough, but it doesn't seem like I mean, it's a reasonable nerf where you combine everything together, but nothing individually has been nerfed extremely hard.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think also, before I even get into this MAUGA thing, I'm like, I want to talk about the fact that like everyone's like, the internet continually gives me incredible psychic damage in relation to game development because I see people like everyone's frustrated about the patch and they're like, holy shit, MAUGA is ruining my life. He's fucking my wife. He's doing everything. This is actually like taking everything from me in this free-to-play game.
Jesus.
And I'm like, sure, but and then it's like, where's the patch? And I'm like, bro, the devs are gone. They're not at the campus over Christmas. Like, they're not gonna be there. And like, it is frustrating. I understand, but like, you know, like, what do you want them to do? You want them to push out the patch on Christmas Day? Like, they're over there wrapping presents with their kids, unwrapping when there's like, Dad, when are we gonna open up my new Mr. Beast Feastables chocolate? And I'm like, 1 second, son, I have to push this patch to live servers, or else some name named Jimmy22 comes a lot is gonna kill me in my home. So like, I think that like that's ridiculous because then people they put out the patch and everyone's like, where was the communication? Oh, you want Santa's letters too? You want them sending from the North Pole? Like, I don't know. Like, I think it's the understanding around it. And the thing is, I don't even know why I'm complaining about this, because it's just gonna happen again next year. Yeah. Hold on, next December, everyone's gonna get pissed again if there's a patch around that time. Everyone's getting mad again when they push out the patch after not telling them enough because they've been a Christmas break. Why am I even talking about it? I should just fucking I should just consume Mountain Dew and eat Cheetos. Like, what do I care? But like, I just that frustrated
patch. It's always at the same time in the middle of the season. What? People forget the patch is coming. I don't get it.
People, it's just. I'm like, what? Like, what? I don't know why.
What would they care? They're the only one experiencing their own pain. You know, why would they give a shit about anybody else? And when everybody's in the offices or anything,
gamers have the most singular pain. It's almost as bad as losing a loved one. Is when your favorite game isn't patched over Christmas. This
problem will never be solved ever. So prevent yourself from fucking damage. Uninstall x.com. From your phone.
I don't know why I mauled it up. But yeah,
honestly, I think it's a valid point. I think, but
it's a valid point. But also, what's the point of even talking about it? It's like it's just bait. It's just bait that I took. I took the bait like an idiot.
He's discussing it on an official podcast. He took the bait.
An official ExpressVPN sponsored podcast.
Yeah, exactly. ExpressVPN.com/watch. I do agree with Avril, though. I want to like double down on Avril's point. So separating the two, like the character and the actual like hero and the kit. The character is very cool. I like that. I like the design of MAUGA. He's very sweet. He's very cool. But like the kit itself and like how he interacts with the rest of the game, terrible. I'm really not a fan. Because we've had... Did I say this last week? Was I on the podcast last week? What happened? What happened last week? What's going on?
I wasn't here, so I have no idea.
Okay, I probably was, and I probably said the same thing. But I just don't think...
You were here.
Yeah, I just don't think... I just don't think releasing 3 brawl tanks in a row really shows signs of like creativity, at least in the tank role. Where's the dive hero? Where's the shield hero? You know what I mean? Where's Reinhardt 2? Where's Winston 2? Like, releasing another character that just sits there and shoots. I've not been playing ranked, to be fair, with MAUGA. I left the US... and then MAUGA was it during when MAUGA was in ranked? I can't remember, but like I've not played EU ranked because I fear it. I fear it. I fear it. I don't want to play, so I've just been playing quick play. So for MAUGA and ranked, all I do is like watch like streams of pro players or like top level streamers and shit, and just seeing MAUGAs just sit there and shoot each other is just got to be the most boring thing of all time. Like unbelievable, and I can't imagine how that is in pro play. I talked to Hawk after. We had him after he was on the episode of Plat Chat with Scott and you, Avril, and I was talking about like how MAUGA is in scrims and stuff, and it sounds even worse. Like it just sounds even worse because at pro play everything is like boiled down to such like a minutia that it just becomes 2 MAUGAs shooting at each other and he just runs over everybody.
I mean, they still haven't fixed any of the fundamental issues, right? With MAUGA, no, they still haven't. They've nerfed him, but he still just wants to shoot tanks. He just wants to shoot tanks all the time.
It is literally the Hog problem. The Hog character without hook is not Hog. So you have to have hook, but the playstyle of having a hook is that you hook people, and that's it. Like there's no deeper level there. They changed the breather, they added Pigpen, sure, but in reality it's just I am big character that fires hook and I shoot then and you die. Like MAUGA is I'm going to shoot. And that is it. Yeah. Like it's just the fundamental design of the hero does not allow for a different playstyle because of how the hero is actually designed.
Yeah, I did see a cool ass rollout on MAUGA though, going on to fucking
Blizzard
World.
Wow.
Yeah, so I saw that. Like, what if he's the new dive on Blizzard World first, specifically when you're attacking? But like, I don't even think it was that. I think they were doing it from defense and went from like the high ground to like. But it's. Pretty much he just doesn't do enough other than shoot tanks, and like that's all bro can do. So like, and like if you do anything other than shoot the tank, then you're kind of throwing them. And the nerfs means that it's not an auto win. I think the nerfs means he's no longer like if you don't have a MAUGA you kind of lose, which is good.
Very, very good.
But it's like I don't know.
He's going to fall into redundancy. Basically,
this is going to be the new LIFEWEAVER at some point, where like you said, it's just going to be too terrible to play. But then, like, if the win rate goes down, then the devs have to buff him, and then if he's too buffed, then he's suddenly going to dominate. So you're just going to have this never-ending seesaw of, like, he's either ultra relevant or, like, not at all.
So you said something on that episode, Avril, a few weeks ago, that you were like, this is what happens when you have heroes with no skill expression. And yeah. I was never one of those people who were like, oh, we need skill expression. But this is such a heinous example of, like, you literally do nothing with this hero besides just shoot Like, this is such a terrible, dumb hero that, like, I hope this hero is completely useless, like, in the future, because it's in no way like fun for the game.
Well, the hero just released, and then like we're on Plat Chat with the pros, and we're just like, yeah, this hero needs a rework, and the hero's been out for like, I don't know how long at that stage, very little time. We're already saying this hero needs a complete rework. Hours upon drop. It needs a complete rework. And I do think it's funny as well that, to Connor's point about devs going on holiday, it's like, well, we're just going to leave the game for a little bit. See you guys later. Merry Christmas. And the game is just like there. It's like, we'll see if anything happens over the holidays. So like,
it's like a terrarium.
They're walking into the room and the room's on fire. You know, he's walking in with pizzas, and it's just like, oh shit, actually,
they just let the culture develop.
I did think that was quite funny. It's like, just walk away and just see how the mold develops over Christmas. You know, just leave it out a little bit.
I mean, in some ways, you can only see how it tests when you face with real people. But I feel like obviously MAUGA has not been out like that long, but like we were already theorizing this when he was released, and like, kind of worried about how the guy with two guns and a giant man booba is gonna fare when everything's shooting him, and also his whole goal is just to shoot other people.
Yeah.
And then it's like, oh yeah, it turns out that he does just want to get like girthy, meaty back shots of the enemy tank all day long and just give sustain to your team. Like, that's it. That's all you got. So
I think I will say one of the worst parts of his kit is the cardiac overdrive. Like, the whole like lifesteal thing is just, oh god. Like,
dude, the clips of MAUGA, the old clips before they nerfed him, where they would just sit there in a room and two MAUGAs would just shoot each other for like 45 seconds, and they're just like supporting them.
It a little bit reminded me of you know, when Ram released and he had his infinite ult, like, and he was just boom,
you just sit there blocking. Two Rams blocking.
Me and Scott, we were scrimming at that time with a team, and it was double Ram, double Echo meta. So like, the two Rams pop ult, Echoes get the ult, they transform into Ram. I still have the clip somewhere. I need to go for. Oh, it's not on this PC. It's in my fucking LA PC, but. Two Echoes duping, so they get ult, and it's just like four Rams just looking at each other blocking. It's just like, bro, this shit sucks. And that's what kind of what it reminded me of. It's just like two tanks looking at each other, just shooting each other or punching each other. Like, I don't know, man. I like the fact that you brought up like skill expression in hero, because dude, the original cast of Overwatch heroes has just been so sick. And even like SOJOURN, Kiriko, they have a lot of skill expression in terms of like aim. Like even ILLARI to a certain extent too, right? Like Pylon's a bit of a, well, you just set it and forget it kind of thing. But like aiming on ILLARI and getting decent damage in and positioning with the shift, like, is quite neat. It's like, you know, quite interesting, and there's a lot of good movement there. But MAUGA is like nothing like that at all. It's like complete opposite end of the scale.
This is why skill expression is important. It's not just some elitist take from me, like, oh, I only want characters where you have to have skill to play. It's because the skill expression self-balances the character. And when you don't have enough skill expression, the only way you balance a character is just raw stats. Just raw, like, how much lifesteal, how much damage, how much health do I have.
Tracer is a good example of that. Like, she's always the most the perfect example of like skill expression. If you're like apply in ranked, just farming the backline as Tracer, like you might look at that and go, whoa, she's like really OP. Like, you can do that much damage. Although, to be fair, with the damage buff, she is extremely strong now. But like, even if you took it back to the 5.5 rather than 6, it's like, damn, like, people are farming with this character, like, oh my god. But then you go lower down the ranks, it's like that hero isn't as good because the skill floor ceiling of that character is just so ridiculously high.
It's easy for a hero to dominate a meta when, this will sound a little bit elitist, but when you're a lesser skilled player and you don't have to do too much and the hero just works and it just fucking dominates. That's when it's bad for the game. Whereas like if at least like a Tracer is like dominant in a good way, where you have to actually be really damn good at the game to be like extremely good at her, and therefore the skill itself balances the hero, in my opinion. So there's a lot of that in play, which is why like you just need skill expression. Also, can we just say that this is my opinion at least, lifesteal as a mechanic, bro, this does not belong in this game. And this comes
fine.
This comes as someone that really likes Jungle Queen, but that's like slightly different. That's lifesteal on ability hits, which is not the same as lifesteal on my left click. And her left click is very slow anyway, so it's not the same. Whereas like a hero that's literally a Bastion, it'd be like if you gave lifesteal to a Bastion. If I said to somebody, hey, do you think lifesteal on Bastion would be a good idea? Everyone would say no. And yet that's what MAUGA has, right? Crazy.
I think lifesteal is a hard mechanic to balance in Overwatch specifically because
it's feast or famine.
Especially in like other games. Well, it's not even just about the feast or famine. It's because it's the sure throughput of heals in Overwatch is like, you know, there's like a term. It's like monetary velocity or physical velocity, whatever. You know, it's like all the money moving through like an economy, shit like that.
Yeah,
that's Overwatch. But imagine that with blood. Imagine you were a vampire, and now imagine it's blood economy. The economy. It's more of a blood-based economy. It's kind of that one. I can't remember what that one.
I've watched
vampire movie was, but you know, it's like.
Oh yeah.
Essentially, you know the one where they're drinking blood bags and they live underground. They have to hide from the sun and blah blah blah. I can't fucking remember that movie. Anyone that remembers that movie? No, it wasn't Blade. Well, yes, it was Blade, but it wasn't Blade.
I know what movie you're talking about. Yeah.
So essentially, MAUGA. Sorry, I was about to like bad day for bloodsuckers or something like that. You know, all suckheads gotta die. Me when I'm playing MAUGA. But the point being is that like lifesteal is. I feel like a more balanced mechanic when there's less overall heals in a game, like when you're playing a game, like when there's especially present, because it's like, okay, you can't just infinitely steal life and they can't infinitely replace it, right? To create like a really terrible feedback loop. But because there's also such a velocity of heals from supports in Overwatch currently between like BAP and Kiriko and such, you can essentially just infinitely shoot and get healed, and they can infinitely be healed. You know, it just can keep going over and over again unless you have like perfect concentrated focus fire or a support fucks up or someone goes like way too much into someone's LOS, right? Like
it's Daybreakers. The film you're thinking of is Daybreakers.
Daybreakers. That's the
Daybreakers.
Film. Yeah. But you know, that's essentially is like that's to me also why I think lifesteal traditionally in Overwatch has been a pretty rough mechanic, even when like Reaper was really strong and did like a lot of lifesteal, is because like there is so much health also going back to replenish the life that is stolen, you know? So it creates a feedback loop of fights where there's a lot of health uptime, like, and there's also a lot of health being taken, but also given back, generates long brawly fights. And it generates things where it's like there's one central focus instead of like multiple micro skirmishes happening throughout the map, because like it's the easiest way to focus when you have this much fucking spirit bomb level of blood and stamina and health rushing through the map, is like you pick one character and that's like their focus of it, or there's just one blob and that's their focus of it. And that's MAUGA's just another new iteration, I think, of like, you know, we have a lot of healing. This guy can take a lot of damage, but gets a lot of health back, but also have healing to replace that damage. And just blah, 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 blah.
And that was the core goal from moving from Overwatch 1 to Overwatch 2. Was to make sure fights don't last like a crazy amount of time, and it's not just some sort of crazy slugfest. It was to make it so it's like an arcadey shooter. You run around, you kill people, and they die. When you shoot them, they die, kind of thing. You know, like and that the transition from Overwatch 1 to Overwatch 2 was like really good, and it with the ability of Sojourn and all. You know, Sojourn had her own problems at launch, but like now we're trending back into this like, oh, I'm just kind of sitting here shooting people, and also healers are healing me. Like healing has been like a hot button topic forever in Overwatch, and I feel like with the cardiac overdrive and stuff, it's like just leave the heals where they are, man. Like just leave the heals. 90% of them are on supports. Healing station for BAP. Reaper's got lifesteal. Like JQ's got a little bit of lifesteal, like you said, with ability hits. You have to be close or hit the knife, right? Or
I mean, also you can melee.
Sure, you can melee too.
Requires you to be close.
Which requires you to be close, right? Just leave those bits of healing to those specific characters. The more sustain we add on, the more like we're going back to Overwatch 1 again, where like it is just a slugfest. Yeah, it is.
Healing creep in the game right
creep, yes. And the thing is that the way to solve that is nerf supports. Like overall, right? Because it's like, well, we don't want to touch the healing on the tanks. Like we want to make sure they're sustainable and brawlable. It's like, okay, so we're now just going to nerf support healing so they become more DPS. And like, I don't know, man. It just seems.
I don't think tanks should heal. That's my hot take.
No, they probably
I really don't think tanks should heal. Like maybe some small stuff like Doom getting some shield,
Sigma shield.
That's fine.
Like absorb.
But, yeah, like
shielding is fine. Yeah.
One long cooldown versus okay, cardiac overdrive I guess is a cooldown, but he gets over health as well, doesn't he, on crits? So he gets his own lifesteal and then the green HP on top of that through passive. And here's the ultimate proof of the healing creep. Everyone complains about Ana. The Ana is the only thing keeping healing in check right now because of the Bionade.
Yeah,
that's the only thing. And people will go, "Oh, anti is so strong." We'll talk about that. And everyone's like, "Oh, bro, why is anti so strong? Anti's insane in the game right now. Anti's insane in the game right now because healing is insane. If healing wasn't so insane, anti wouldn't be so insane."
Yeah, I mean, also it's just tough to build at the baseline back and get back to the original argument. When you build a character whose goal is to sustain from lifesteal, like that's even more so to me, that's almost a bigger problem than the fact that lifesteal exists, because it's like you're inherently building a character that you know can only exist because they get health back from being in the fight, right? Like if MAUGA just dropped, it's like, here's a big, beefy, girthy man. He's got 2 guns. He can charge around a bit. And he's got a cool, but also he has no lifesteal. Like, what if his ult was just like, the more you shoot, what if his essentially his feedback loop was like something like, the more you shoot someone, the faster you move and reload or something, right? So like you do more damage and you move faster, but like technically you're still a gigantic target, but like his kit simply wouldn't work because he's still such a gigantic hitbox and he can't generate that health back, right? Like they built him from the ground up. They essentially built him from the ground up to just get health back, you know, to sustain, like, which is a whole problem with his design.
I figured it out. I know how to fix MAUGA. I got it right now. Brainwave hit me right now. The light bulb just switched on right now. This is how you fix MAUGA. Instead of having any lifesteal on his cardiac overdrive, it's gone. It can just be damage reduction. Maybe it needs something else as well. I don't know. I don't know how to fix that ability. But he's already got, as I mentioned, he's already got base healing from his passive. 50% of critical damage is converted to overhealth, 150 max, right? I think you can just replace the raw lifesteal on cardiac overdrive with something that increases his passive from 50% critical damage to 100% critical damage. And the reason why I think that's better, or at least more balanced, is because, well, you actually have to hit the crits versus I hit anything and I get HP. You have to actually hit some crits, which involves skill expression, to get the quote-unquote lifesteal. It's actually over screen HP, but it's his healing, right? And that feels more, to me, that sounds way healthier for the game than just raw lifesteal. And it incentivizes you to actually be able to aim. So like,
yeah, that, or like he has to hit his actual charge, you know, to like generate health. Like, you know, it's like, I think it should be something, I like it where it's an ability hit, right? Because I think that's an easy way to, that's a much easier way to bounce things too. Is like,
shift
you have to
is just a passive shield from ball. Just,
yeah, you know, like essentially, but you have to hit people. Right? Instead of a shield with ball is just your proximity. But like, what if you have to hit people, right? And then you get health. Like, right? Like, there's other ways to potentially balance it where like essentially you just need to like lock these mechanics behind skill expression, you know? I mean, I'm open to seeing what crackhead MAUGA would look like, where the more he hits, the faster he shoots and walks. I'm open, because then it creates a feedback loop of like, oh shit, the stronger you get, the more support you need. And if you fuck up, he dies, you know? So yeah, like, right. I'm also open to that expression, because I feel like it's like rewarding you to make you individually stronger, but not at the cost of producing brawl.
Wait, say that again. So the more you hit, the more damage you deal and take?
The more damage you deal. No, not that you take. The more damage you, it's not even necessarily the damage you deal. It's more so the faster you reload, and also the faster you can move up to a cap. But see, the cost to utilize that is that you have to be more in the fight, right? And like you have to be getting up in that fight and like going and like being more in there to even generate, to get use out of that, which requires more support, you know, because you're not getting lifesteal necessarily. So like, I'm just saying, like, you know, there are other mechanics here to where like I think you should be, you know, I think MAUGA is obviously someone where the kit is designed like you have to get buffed to remain relevant, because this kit is otherwise he's not very good, you know? And so like they need to generate some sort of device, some sort of mechanics around that per se.
I got one more. I got one more in me. Here we go. Here's another skill expression you can have. You reduce his reload, because he's got big miniguns in most games. Big LMG type weapons take an ass long load of time to reload, which is fair. Here's something to alleviate that. Make his reload longer. However, he regains ammo on hitting crits. Again, more skill expression. Sure. You actually have to hit shit to get benefits. Kind of similar to what you were saying. If you're actually doing things and having skill expression, you're being rewarded. So now his chain guns, you hit enemies with a crit, it puts ammo back into your mag or whatever. Otherwise you have to go through this long ass reload. So
That's an option too. Maybe they give him a hook.
Yeah, maybe give him a hook and a thing to heal he puts up to his face.
Yeah,
And
but
then
his hook would be different. It'd be like a
trap?
fishing line, you know?
A really thin fishing line.
Be like a really thin, be like you got to reel them in. And then the mini game is you have to hit it. It's like you have to hit the fishing.
Oh, a bash fishing from PS2 and you have to...
Yeah.
No, Jack, it should be like you gotta go League of Legends a little bit. You can't just everyone can't just hook here. This will be like Nautilus. So you pull them towards you and you pull yourself towards them.
Oh, yeah, okay.
You chest bump them or something for damage, right? Be a Nautilus hook instead of a regular hook.
I kind of like that. That's kind of cool. That's what Hog should be.
Yeah, where's our Nautilus hero in the game? Come on.
Yeah, give us a Nautilus. Just unkillable. The unkillable hero. Depth charge and you die. GG's.
Wait, what game is this?
League of Legends.
Oh, okay.
League of Legends. Have you heard of it, Johnny? It's pretty big. It's
yeah. Sorry, I'm a boomer. I don't.
They have an esport.
Yeah.
I heard.
Games.
They had a TV show called Players. Maybe you heard of that.
Oh yeah,
on Paramount.
Yeah, I didn't. Yeah. Oh, who has Paramount, bro?
I don't have. Oh, actually. Well, let's just say I don't have Paramount Plus, but I watched the show.
Was it worth a watch?
It was actually the best esport show I've ever seen, to be fair, in terms of like how accurate it was. And
it was pretty accurate. Yeah,
they had LCS, like they had like people from League of Legends, like in.
Yeah, they had High.
They had like High. Yeah, they had. Like they also had Freak. They had Freak, I believe.
Yeah.
They had like a couple people, Frostgurn maybe. Like they had a couple people like actually from League of Legends like in the show. So. Was
it more or less cringe than that little Valorant segment thing that happened in the Mark Wahlberg movie?
I was about to say that.
What isn't that? I don't think that movie is that movie even released.
It's on. It's on some streaming platform or whatever.
I haven't. I don't know. But I can assure you that based off the.
Because that was fucking cringe.
The Players TV show was actually like felt like real, like it knew people that kind of knew esports. It felt like esports. I don't know what's happened with this. I just saw this and I'm like, I'm not watching this. So I'm not gonna. I don't know what's.
It's really blurry, but is that Valkyrie?
It is Valkyrie.
Oh.
Yeah. I would say in order of cringe media appearances of esports, I would say Players, the TV show, probably the best. Followed up by that, the American Dad Overwatch League segment. Then
I've seen that.
Then probably Mark Wahlberg's movie, and then at the bottom, the Big Bang Theory LA Gladiators segment.
Wait,
that's
what?
Anything Big Bang Theory?
LA Gladiators, Big Bang Theory?
Was that a thing? I think one of them had like a jersey on, like an LA Gladiators jersey on. And
that sounds season 1, 2018-ish. Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Also, American Dad Overwatch League segment.
Yes, American Dad. Well, it was an Overwatch World Cup segment more so, but yes, they had an Overwatch.
I do not
esports segment
remember that.
I can't believe you haven't seen this. We'll have to find this later. But pretty much anything Big Bang Theory is at the bottom. Unfortunately, it doesn't really matter what the tier list is. Big Bang Theory is unfortunately gonna have to be at the bottom. Bazinga.
Wahlberg's son, his character's name is Killboy. His in-game name is Killboy.
Yeah,
that's awesome. That's some Crusher 99 levels of cringe.
Killboy, yeah. Competing in a pro show match alongside Valkyrie against a team led by It's Timmy. Killboy almost single-handedly wins the match in the final round with a chamber ace, prompting the crowd to chant his name.
The best part too is that like the show, because of the production I'm assuming the lag of when they got made. Chamber probably was like hardcore meta. Like they had the hard chamber meta.
That was like a year, right?
Valorant. Yeah, and then like it's probably just like a completely wrong meta now. Like it's not even close to that anymore. Especially with the fucking Marshall being added, or not the Marshall, the Outlaw.
Oh, the Outlaw looks ridiculous.
It's very busted. It's very busted. But this is a Valorant topic, not a Overwatch. So yeah.
Plat Chat Valorant, guys. Let's go.
Yeah.
I have no more to discuss about MAUGA. I'm done talking.
Let's move on from MAUGA.
Yeah, let's move on from MAUGA.
One last thing about MAUGA is that I actually haven't seen that many MAUGAs. At least in Quick Play Australia. I don't know about other places, but in Quick Play
Australia,
there's
that's a pretty high sample size.
And even pre-nerf, even like pre-mid-season patch, I felt like there weren't that many MAUGAs. Like I would only ever see one, I would say 20% of games.
Right.
However, I can tell you there's one surefire way I will always see a MAUGA with 100% certainty, and that is if I pick one. Then it's instantly a MAUGA mirror no matter what.
Also something, this is a breaking news, Johnny.
Okay.
For the they're testing on the experimental gameplay mode this weekend apparently.
Okay.
And it's called quicker play.
Yep.
And the game is just faster. So it's called quicker play, and its respawn times 25% shorter across the board. Payloads move 60% faster. Objectives capture 40% faster. Objective scoring 80% faster, and match times and extensions are 30% shorter. So they've created TikTok Overwatch.
Wait, is this on Twitter or something?
Yeah, here, I'll show it. It's from OW Calvary. They just posted it.
Okay.
Yeah, they're testing out some fucking saucy shit.
I'll put it in the Overwatch chat.
Great, thank you.
It's
much appreciated.
So yeah, I would say like that's I mean, but it's only obviously a test thing, but I just find that very funny. You know?
All right. Yeah, hacked. Quicker play. Respawn timers 25% shorter. Payloads move 60% faster. Objectives capture 40% faster. Objective scoring 80% faster. Match times and extensions 30% shorter. So
think how quick flashpoints are gonna score. 80% faster.
That's like two fights.
It's not even two fights. It's like one fight.
One fight.
It's a single fight in Flashpoint.
Well, you need to fight to capture it, and then another fight to.
Oh sure, yeah, but you might not be able to regroup quick enough.
Surely they've tested that.
Apparently, there's a follow-up right under that where Flashpoint specifically, Flashpoint objectives capture 20% and score 40%.
Oh, okay.
So they're not making them do 40% and 80% because then Flashpoint would be like microscopic.
Ridiculous, yeah.
Oh,
you would have
yeah.
like an insanely small, like an infinitesimal, like
other game modes aside, like I don't know about other game modes which might get messed up here, but I legitimately think this would be improvement to push. As one of the biggest push haters in the world, one way you actually fix push, in my opinion, is to make the objectives like way quicker, and respawn. I don't know, regrouping quicker as well. I would actually be very interested to see how this affects push, and the shorter time of push as well is very interesting. Might make the game a little bit more snowball. This will make the game very snowbally in either direction. I think when we talk about even quicker play, like super quick play, I think obviously the games will end very fast, but they'll end in like super one-sided fashion, in my opinion, because the points will just be gone. The objectives will just be gone.
Yeah, I think this is an interesting change. I can't say that I've ever joined a quick play game and was like, this is too long for me, but I guess that's what people crave these days. Is just like they want to get in and get out. And you know, if you're in a bad match, especially, speeding up the game to get out of that bad match probably feels like pretty satisfying in that regard. So if you can reduce the amount of time that people don't have fun playing the game, then that's probably a benefit, right? So it's experimental, but it's interesting.
I mean, I just thought it fun. I don't necessarily know if I have anything to take from this. I would have to like.
I'll try it. It sounds interesting. It's different. I'm certainly gonna try it. And we can talk about it next week. We'll give all our quicker play takes next week in the episode.
Sounds good. Yeah. I don't know how I feel.
All right. Jaws is brewing. Jaws is stewing on this take of his. He's figuring it out. So maybe we'll see some calculated quicker play takes.
It's because he genuinely fears the EU quicker play.
EU quicker play.
I've been playing EU quick play. And yeah, it's a wild ride. Although because there's MMR and quick play, I'm playing against like decent players, so I'm like, okay, this is not as bad as I thought. It's actually okay.
You got some characters in the EU, man. You got all the one tricks, all the most well-known one tricks in the world.
Well, they're all in EU ranks. Like I ain't touching EU ranks, bro. You're having a fucking laugh, bro. Not my proper setup as well. By the way, I know what. Like, there's 3 like dead pixel lines on my monitor as well, where the crosshair is. Like, yeah, I'm not playing quick play. I'm not playing ranked even. Fuck that.
Yeah, the last time I played European ranked, I'm pretty sure it was like Horizon Lunar Colony was still out, and you'd queue into like European ranked, and there'd be like Symmetra one tricks, Wrecking Ball one tricks, and it'd be a devastatingly bad European ranked experience. But
I'd rather play NA.
Yeah,
so I'm not playing.
Yeah, which might have been a hot take to some people, because some people have words for North American ranked too. But there you go. All right,
European ranked has always been worse in every game. in terms of not
dude, watching Sideshow play Valorant European ranked, I'm like, this is out of control.
Yeah, it's not about the skill. It's always Europeans
characters
crumble immediately, which is how you know. That's why they had to be kept afloat via NATO and our dollars all this time. I don't trust Europeans in the conflict now.
You know why? It's
like
because
they would crumble.
America is one country, just divided by states. In Europe, you're all different countries and languages, and they all just hate each other, and so they can't play ranked at all.
I mean, sometimes the language barrier goes crazy. Like, is all I'm saying. There's very few words that are known throughout all of the European language, but all of the swear words are known. Everybody knows all the other swear words of every other language. So, like, yeah, it's pretty wild. It's pretty fun though. I mean, it can be at least, but I'm not touching it. No, I'm gonna wait until I come back to NA.
You know, it would have been fun to see you stream European ranked. I'm pretty sure that would have been good content that we can't do, right?
Dude, okay, I have 2 meg up, 2 meg down, so I'm not gonna touch that.
So that's from Valheim every day. It's one of the only games you can actually play with your internet.
Stream at like low FPS and like low res, and yeah, it's dog. Bro.
It's like you're back in the Team 7 house.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, I'd actually rather be back there because at least the internet was good when you had like your time to stream, you know. Like, but here it's just a consistent level of shit.
Why don't you just ask your parents to upgrade the internet or something like?
Nah, it's something to the wire. Nah, long fucking.
Wire.
Trust me,
there's European wires.
It's the UK mice. They chew through them like they love them. They love the wires so much.
I'm not getting into this conversation.
All right. Before we move on from MAUGA in the patch notes, okay, we gotta say cheers to the new year with Manscaped. Our friends from Manscaped. Your resolutions shouldn't be the only things that are well kept. 2024 is the time for new heights, new opportunities, and a new look for your Times Square balls. Manscaped's Lawnmower 5.0 Ultra is every man's cheat code to look good, feel good, and turn the page on confidence this year. Whether you're looking to maintain a trim or go for that clean shaven look, this trimmer has you covered. Trusted by over 10 million men worldwide. Now is your time to get a grip on your grooming with our exclusive offer. Go to manscaped.com and use code PLATCHAT for 20% off plus free shipping. Happy New Year, or Happy New Balls. Introducing the MVP of 2024, Manscaped 5th generation lawnmower. It's not just a trimmer, it's your grooming sidekick, equipped with 2 skin-safe blade heads, a standard one for taking a little off the top, and a new foil blade to go smooth wherever your heart desires. It's like having a personal stylist at your fingertips, or well, wherever you need it. And did we mention it's waterproof, because a trim in the shower is the only way to start the day. And for my men who want the full grooming experience, look no further than Manscaped Performance Package 5.0. In this grooming kit, you get a trusted lawnmower, Manscaped's ear and nose trimmer, Avast, and essential aftercare products with the crop soother, ball aftershave lotion, and the crop preserver anti-shaving ball deodorant. Yeah, it's deodorant for your balls, but you didn't think you needed that. As a gesture for the new year, they even threw in 2 free gifts, the Boxers 2.0 and the Shed 2.0 toiletry bag, because they know good and well you're rocking your Boxers from high school. Let's face it, resolutions might come and go, but a well-groomed you is here to stay thanks to Manscaped. Get 20% off and free shipping with code PLATCHAT at manscaped.com, because nothing says Happy New Year like a deal that leaves your balls and your budget feeling refreshed. Embrace a new you, and definitely embrace a new trimmer courtesy of Manscaped. And yeah, Solomon is not here.
Whoa, look at it go! Whoa.
It's actually flying.
Whoa.
No. Now that's nice. That's nice.
That's production.
I'm cooking.
That's nice.
Oh, I can't change the lower third here. But yeah, there you go. There's
that's nice.
Wait, why is this? There you go.
Beautiful.
Yeah, the scroll.
Yeah, the scroll. The manual scroll. Ooh, bespoke.
Please, I need help. I need help. Oh my.
This is some handcrafted scroll.
Also, I didn't want to say anything, but that's not the font we normally use. That is default.
The lower thirds broke when Solomon is not here, so
there it is again. Whoa, look at that.
I'm trying my hardest. We love you, Manscaped. Please. I promise this is a one-off episode because our producer's not here. So I'm trying to cook. I'm trying to make it happen. I'm pretty sure we got the message across. I'm pretty sure.
The message I heard is that Avast needs to trim his nose hairs.
Yeah,
that was fucked. Why did I get isolated in that? What's going on? Like, why did I get called out specifically?
Look, I just needed a little break to just take a deep breath. Okay, I'm sorry, Avast.
Okay.
We can hash it out afterwards, but.
Apparently, you're the longest nose hairs. Is what that was about.
No, not longest nose hair. Okay. Or I'm just deflecting. Maybe I'm deflecting because I've been looking in the mirror recently and I have noticed that I have nose hair growing out of my nose. So I actually need one of those trimmers. So yeah, look, I'll get you a nose trimmer, Avast. I'll get you a nose trimmer. Don't worry about it. And yeah, it's gonna be good. Thank you, Manscaped.
First of all, Manscaped's already sent us one. That's the first thing. Okay, they sent us one. I have one, which is fantastic. So I don't need another one. Well, I don't know.
Australia Post.
Yeah, Avril.
Maybe it's stuck in Australian Post.
Well, we'll get onto that, Avril. Yep. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. But yeah, there you go. All right. Now to get this rocket off my screen, and I'll pull up the other. Wait, the rocket is still there.
Oh, there it is. Whoa, that's huge.
Just flying over the patch.
ORISA removed fall-off damage penalty, and Fortify now immune to taking force critical hit damage. Fortify already prevented critical direct critical damage from headshots.
So that's just
that's
combat
only.
MAUGA. Yeah, that's a MAUGA only change, basically.
Yeah.
The fall-off penalty is like, okay. Like, is it me or like the last few patch notes? I swear are just like, all right, cool. Like I don't see ORISA sniping anybody. Maybe it does go kind of hard, especially on
Widowmakers now.
I think it's absolutely
like
absurd.
On Coliseum and stuff.
As someone who plays like ORISA, I think this is absolutely absurd. Why should I be able to fire at like an Ana or like a Widowmaker the entire map across? Like that makes no sense to me. Like why does ORISA need the mechanic to be able to do that? It just like, why should, if I'm a tank, surely, I know we just talked about MAUGA doing this, like just shooting the enemy tank, but surely if I'm a tank player, I should be kind of close ranged and I should focus on like, you know, dealing with heroes that are close to me, like peeling Genjis or like shooting the enemy tank or like trying to do at least medium range stuff. But to be able to just spam at snipers who are like hard scoping, like what? This is so dumb. Like, I hate this change. Like, I don't want me to be able to just try to shoot an Ana. Like, I don't want that to be my priority. So, I think this change is just absurd. Like, I don't understand it.
Oh, I don't understand where they got the data from that said, like, oh, Riz not doing enough damage to the backline. Like, again, some of these patch notes recently have just been like, what? Like, why are you changing this? Like, was there anything to support this kind of thing? I guess with these big like season patch notes and then the mid-season, they do try and shake things up like a little bit more drastically. But like, is this something that people were complaining about or like wanted, or like, I don't get it. I really don't get it, because it doesn't really push ORISA into a position where like, okay, now we're having an ORISA meta, or we've had an ORISA meta. Okay, we're pulling back ORISA like a ton because we don't want it to be played anymore. This is like okay, you're just buffing her in this way, like, and that's it. Like, is this forcing anything? Is this like, it just mind-boggling change?
I mean, I feel like they want ORISA in certain capacities to maybe be like more of a harder counter to MAUGA, like when they drop the nerfs consecutively, because essentially like you won't take any crit damage at all in Fortify, so you can't feed into the MAUGA like heal loop, and additionally you can just poke the shit out of them from further away now, right? So like, to me, I look at this and I look at the conjunction with MAUGA's release and the nerfs, and I'm like, okay, well, like maybe they're viewing ORISA as like a tank that can fight MAUGA more effectively. But because I don't know, even with low, not very heavy fall off damage, is ORISA really ever going to be like a backline counter? I mean, potentially, yes, but most of the time when ORISA's fighting backlines, because you're like heading in with a charge, you're heading in there eating damage and like engaging with a terrorist or something, right? So you're not necessarily fighting backline from like really far away, typically, if as ORISA. So I'm like, to me, I'm like, okay, this is something that maybe fits better against MAUGA, but like, I don't know.
There's still like supplementary fire. Like they're because of the removed fall of damage penalty, there will now be situations in the highest lobbies where shooting supplementary fire at the enemy backline because your team is diving or like they're focusing on someone, because there's no fall off, the right play will just be to like spam like across the map to try to hit some additional damage onto whoever your team is focusing on far away, which I just like, okay, I just don't know if that's the best thing for ORISA. Like I just don't think.
Confusing change.
Yeah, it's a confusing change.
It's a really confusing change. Sure, like yeah, like you said, Johnny, you're going to be able to kind of snipe the backline now and like deal extra damage, which is great. Although ORISA already had the kind of problem where her projectiles are some of the slowest in the game. Although they are fairly fast, like they're faster than they kind of used to be when ORISA first got reworked. But
yeah,
they're
still
still
pretty
a
good.
Projectile that you can like, okay, ORISA's firing these giant like RuneScape cabbages at me, like I'm going to be able to dodge out the way. Like it's not like it's hit. If it was like hit scan, I'd be like, okay, this is a problem. But like because it's still a big old projectile, like I'm not too worried because there is just naturally a lot of cover in Overwatch, so it's just again why
It's not that accurate though, right? At long range, it's not that accurate.
No,
but
crazy.
it's supplementary. You hit a few shots.
If a is also standing hard scoped, like at a window or like at a long range, the one map that just like reminds me of this kind of change being impactful would be like Colosseo. Just like firing down a corridor, just like constantly, like it's going to be fairly effective there. But if a widow is like perma just stood still, like sure.
Yeah, which is never going to happen in like high tier lobbies, but no. I still think that like the damage you're able to like help your team with, I think it's at least like
it's probably going to be fairly significant.
Yeah.
Like when it comes to it, but like stop with these random changes. Like if you're going to make these big sweeping changes, make them big and sweeping. Don't make them like weird small one-off.
Yeah, what happened? What happened to the developer comments?
Maybe it's big and sweeping.
I don't know if they had developer comments for this, but
I feel like a lot of this is like stuff that they maybe didn't do this, or like a lot of the lack of, because I feel like also for a lot of these other patches they've had much better communication. It's just this is the New Year's like mid-season patch, and like
they probably just didn't do it yet.
They've been out of office for like fucking a month and a half. Like I feel like that's probably, now I would argue that like maybe you should have some sort of protocols in place there, but like I get it, like work, essentially white collar world stops working after like November 25th, until like January, like the first week of January, pretty much. So because for some reason we've decided our calendar should have every fucking holiday on earth punched into like 2 months, pretty much. So
yeah,
it's just how it would be. I'm assuming they just didn't have anyone to fucking write it because they were out of office.
Well, I mean, okay. Well, that's how you get Plat Chat episodes like this, where we're just like, what? And we're just speculating on, we have no idea what's going on.
Even if there was a dev comment, I'd still be like, what? Like,
no, I'd be coping. So. I'd be chilling for Blizzard.
I'd be coping.
Yeah, I'd be chilling. All right. Well, I do like that they try to make ORISA a bit of like a MAUGA counter. Like I kind of can appreciate that, so I don't mind the 45 change.
That's exactly what they're going for, right? That's just in my mind. I'm like, it makes sense.
Yeah, well, the 45 is definitely better, close range. So I think that ORISA is going to be quite strong.
Well, the left click means you can poke MAUGA at medium range as well now.
Yeah, that's true. He's a big target.
All right, moving on to ROADHOG. Take a breather. Total amount healed reduced from 500 to 450, and cooldown between usages increased from 1 to 1.5 seconds.
That's actually really good. That's really good. His breather right now is insane, because there used to be periods of time where you could interrupt it, rock, sleep, shit like that. I mean, Anti still kind of rolls him, right? But Suzu exists, so that's also kind of a counter there. But reducing the big thing there, I think, is the cooldown between usages. The healing is like, okay, it's good. Like the total amount of healed is kind of nice, but like the cooldown is insane, because you get rocked, you get back up, oh, you can breather again. Giving more opportunities for people to punish ROADHOG when he does get stunned out of take a breather is always going to be a good thing. I didn't know how I felt about this take a breather thing initially. I thought maybe like, oh, it'll be fine. Like, it depends on how long it can kind of sustain him fall through fights, but like seeing ROADHOGs just walk around the map using a little bit of it at a time, getting damage reduction and getting the healing boost and shit, like, yeah, I don't know. You needed a bigger cooldown, a bigger window to punish that cooldown, and so this is kind of what it's done, which I really like. I think this is a very good change.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not opposed to it. It's fine. Like, I think it's just another quality of life to make him less annoying.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Okay, Hog, MAUGA, ORISA, they are heroes that are just not fun, I think, in general. And I think if Hog and ORISA and MAUGA are just heroes that are like by the wayside, like permanently, not played all the time, I think that's perfectly okay. Maybe this will push Hog into more relevancy. But in general, there are just some heroes that are fun to play with and against. These 3 heroes that were just changed are not them at all. They're in the complete opposite camp. So more opportunities to manage these heroes.
I dislike Hog and ORISA less than MAUGA because at least you got to hit a hook. At least you got to, like, I don't know, hit some spares and hit some left clicks on a wrist. I don't know. You gotta do. I feel like you gotta do a little bit more on these heroes than MAUGA.
I was trying to force Reinhardt in rank the other day, and I had a bad time against ROADHOG and ORISA.
Yep.
It was not fun. ROADHOG is quite oppressive these days.
He's pretty good when you know how to use breather properly. He's pretty good, and that trap as well. Like, people still aren't used to like looking for the trap, but most hogs like throw it down and then instantly hook. You know, so you like instantly get pulled in, then you get one shot with a new gun.
Yeah.
Which by the way, the new gun is very good. Like, holy moly, that does a lot of damage. If you can aim with that shit with the whole like 4 shot in the middle thing, it's like it does a lot.
Yeah.
It's quite surprising.
My life did flash before my eyes, and was like, do I need to learn how to play Hog now? Like, is this an actual hero that I need to?
I mean, I think Hog is a very good carry hero on the tank role. If you're just like want to climb rank, then I think Hog's a pretty decent pick.
I'm actually going to default to ORISA, Jack. But I'll be playing a lot of ORISA in ranked, I think. It's a good stream hero because you can read chat while you play ORISA. It's really easy to multitask.
Then you can just look away. You can go make yourself a cup of tea, go make yourself some dinner, and then you're back. You've only lost 100 HP. It's all good.
Yeah.
All good.
Yeah. You use your abilities after the enemy ORISA. Push in. Feels good. All right. Outplayed. All right. Some of these other changes, I saw people pretty upset about. Moving on to SOJOURN. Railgun, gradual energy no longer decays below 25%.
I'm gonna be honest. I literally don't know why they did this, other than the fact that maybe lower ranked players were having difficulty. Because essentially, which, if that's the case, I don't have the stats, but essentially SOJOURN was already fucking good. SOJOURN was already really good and really well played, and I don't see the point to giving a buff. Especially because, like, I mean, actually, like, when we think about, like, the DPS, like, roster too, it's like, Cassidy? Mod check? Cassidy? Like, you know, like, any, like, Cassidy's simply, I'm assuming they're waiting for, like, the rework or something, like, they're spending a lot of their efforts there, but, like, SOJOURN is actually just like the fucking popular kid at school right now, and Cassidy is just like hanging out in the back with all like the goths and the burnouts, being like, yeah, like, don't worry, like, I'm so totally gonna be back.
I feel like the pitchforks are out at this point. Like, people are genuinely mad that Cassidy's not getting any like help whatsoever.
I mean, I'm assuming it's the rework. I'm assuming the rework is why there's been no Cassidy changes.
They announced that? I haven't heard of this Cassidy rework before.
I mean, I just assume there's gonna be something like that, because like, what other explanation is there gonna be? I think
some of the older heroes are probably gonna get maybe not like a substantial rework, but a mini rework at least. Bro rolls. He has a roll. Soldier has legs, you know, like maybe they move legs to like a passive kind of ability and they replace that with another like with something else. I don't know. I think a lot of the heroes, I think Connor's right. I think a lot of the old heroes will eventually get reworked, or like, oh, here's another ability, like Hog, right? Like, oh, here's Pigpen. And like Cassidy might get something else, where like maybe he can always roll, but then he's got another ability now as well. Like, I think there's a lot of open room for a lot of the old heroes to get like updated with a fresh new kit, or like at least fresh new ability. But I mean, this changes. I would assume it's exactly what Connor said. The lower rank, she's probably not performing as well. Because people can't sustain their energy, so having yourself it's now like a permanent baseline of 25%, right? Like permanent baseline of 25, because you're always going to be able to hit a couple of shots, right, after you hit a rail. So it's like, I think it's pretty damn good. Only having to build 75% now is to get to 100%. I think it's pretty insane.
Only if you don't shoot the rail. If you shoot the rail, it goes to 0, right? So
sure, it goes to 0, but then you do like a little tickle damage and it's back to 25. So you're perpetually going to be at 25, like almost all the time, right? Because even when you shoot the rail, you want to follow up with some extra damage to try and get a kill. As
a fellow SOJOURN enjoyer, I know.
I love SOJOURN too. Don't worry.
Absolutely my favorite hero. Absolutely my favorite hero. I'm pretty sure the bonus is there, but like, I shoot most rails, and so I don't really notice this change a lot. Because I don't hold charge. I'll hold charge, but I'll definitely shoot. And so I always go back down to 0. For me, anyway.
Yeah. I don't know. I am worried. This is completely separate from this Sojourn change, but you know, when you brought up reworks, I am worried about like, I guess that's just how it goes when you have like so many heroes. You have like, we're gonna get 50 plus heroes. I don't know what we're at now, but like there will be ability clutter where like there's so many abilities everywhere. Whereas compared to like when Overwatch came out, like there was a real good balance between like first person shooter and some abilities in the game to like spice that up, I feel like. Whereas I feel like we're getting to the point now where it's just like abilities all over the freaking place, and it's less about the point and click, less about the, you know, hit scan kind of nature of things, and it's more about just amplifying everything and a bit more crazy. But I feel like if you're gonna make new heroes, new abilities, you need to be able to have some room for that creativity, I guess. So I guess it's natural that these older heroes are gonna get reworks and become a bit more advanced and a bit more creative in their toolkit. So
yeah. I mean, we're just speculating, right? We don't know if there's actually going to be reworks for these like heroes, because
well,
I think that's an important point to kind of bring up. Is a lot of the old heroes, they are more simple, and like ability creep is going to happen, and it's already started to happen. With Hog, he definitely needed something else, right? But with Cassidy, Soldier, they could probably still remain the same because they are unique. As long as the heroes are unique enough, I think they're going to be fine. I don't want to get to a point where like, I think, well, League kind of had this problem where like some of the characters have 9-10 abilities when you can only hit like 4 buttons.
Oh, that is absurd. Yeah.
Like Nidalee is kind of a funny one because she is one of my favorite champions to play back when I used to play League, because she could transform into the cat as well, and you have a big spear and you throw it and then you jump on people, and that was really fun. And that was like, wow, that's like a lot of abilities to like learn, because you've got 2 different forms.
Yeah.
And then you have like all these other champs now, which I don't know the names of, that like have 10 abilities, and they have like, what's the character? Aphelios for like 2 different weapons at the same time, but you can combo the weapons together, and it's like solving a maths equation. I know. It's just a good example of like a
what
game
happens
that's
with Jackson and you.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, I casted League Legends here when I lived here, but like, I think League is a good game to point to because the game has been out longer and there's been more champions in League being released, and like Overwatch, while not the same because it's a first-person shooter, abilities in general they're quite similar with like League of Legends. And at the end of the day, as heroes get released, they kind of have to become more complex for people to get interested in the hero. Because I think if you release Soldier 76 now, it would be like, wow, this guy just runs. Like, what the fuck? Like that would, I don't know how hyped that hero would be. I don't think he would be hyped at all, unless it's something like a Sojourn, which can slide and then shoot railguns and like make it really fancy and like cool, which is again not a bad thing. But yeah, it's just kind of the nature of the game as it gets older.
In a world where Soldier didn't exist, I think him being released today wouldn't be all that bad. He'd probably have like maybe a little bit more hype in the abilities and something a little bit more exciting, but at the same time, it's like if we don't have like a Call of Duty shooter man in the game already, he would fill a niche, and so I don't think he'd be like that weird of a release even now.
But I think like the hype level of a character, you look at like Soldier and then you look at Soj, like Soj sliding in, popping ult, hits a railgun, and then Soldier runs along, he's got an aimbot and he just mows people down. It's cool in its own right, but my point is like ability creep and that kind of shit is going to come.
I also don't think.
I hope they don't rework Cassidy and Soldier. I want them to leave them like they are, because I think they're important niches to fill.
I was confused. I was like, dude, is there something I missed? Because Connor said it so matter of fact, like, oh, there's going to be a rework.
So
I'm like, whoa, is there a rework? Like, I had no idea.
I'm just saying, it just feels.
It
just feels like they're gonna do. It feels. It just. It has the vibe in the air. I mean, it might be total bullshit. It might be total bullshit.
Yeah,
like,
I hope not. Actually, I think the nade is not amazing, and they got to do something about that. But the character, the niche of the character, and like the vibe of the character, the cowboy kind of vibe. If you change too much about him, it's gone. Like even the combat role, that is so castly. Like you remove that or you change that, it's not going to be the same. Like his his 6 shooter, like all his revolver, like that's really like much the niche of the character. Like you can't really change too much about the character at all, I think. So yeah.
I think as heroes go on, we do need more like it's going to sound silly because we just criticize MAUGA, but like simple heroes. that are like Soldier 76, Cassidy, just as long as they're not too overloaded, you know what I mean? Like,
there enough of those?
Not right now. I think maybe we've got enough at this current moment in time, like simple to kind of execute heroes. I think we do, yeah. But if we get a couple of years down the line when, you know, Ram, for example, I think Ram's a good example where he has like 2 different forms. Like, as long as we have there's a balance there, as long as there's like a Ram and then there's like exactly right. You want a Ram, but then you also want a Soldier 76 kind of character, or like even a Mercy, right? Like a Zen, like who's 2 fucking orbs, you know. Like as long as there's a balance there, I'm just scared of like this power creep and this sustain creep and everything else.
Give me a hero with 3 forms.
Oh my god!
Between 3 different forms.
It's like the Tracer Battle Pass thing, where it's like a basic Tracer and then like a bit more advanced Tracer, and then it's like the Mythic Tracer. But it's like your abilities evolve over time, become stronger. No, I'm just. I would actually sag though with someone said something about reworks. I actually think they should capitalize more on reworks and make reworks more exciting, almost like relaunching a hero.
Like Sim.
Yeah, well. Sim has gone through many iterations and many reworks. It's not always been pretty.
But it's a big change, right?
I got it.
But
you make a hero, you remake Sim into a hero that can change 3 times, and it's just all the different Sim reworks. That's what you transform between.
Oh, yeah, there you go. No, but
that's the hero.
Because like at this point, there are so many characters in the game that like people already love, that have fan bases and all this, right? But clearly, they're not up for the job when it comes to Overwatch 2, and Cassidy is one of those examples. Wrecking Ball has like a huge fan base where people are like, it doesn't feel like they're doing anything to fix Wrecking Ball whatsoever. The developers have been open about the fact that they are testing out different reworks and like changing Wrecking Ball around because they recognize that the hero is not really in a good place right now. But I'd almost like to see them capitalize on a potential kind of like rework and make it like a re-release, so you can combine abilities reworks with, I don't know, additional cinematics, additional story modes, and additional skins. So like when we went from Overwatch 1 to Overwatch 2, a lot of those original heroes, they got their original default skin upgraded. So Genji, for example, got the hoodie skin, right? Whereas in Overwatch 1, it was very basic. You had this like kind of robot armor or whatever. I want to see more of that. So when you rework a hero, you're almost like reintroducing them in a very cool way to the game. And I think that would be like a lesser version of almost like releasing a new hero. So I don't see how they can't take some of these fan favorite heroes already and make it like very exciting for these heroes to have, you know, a next generation if they feel the need to upgrade some of those abilities. So Cassidy, you want them to stay a cowboy and keep that identity and all that stuff, right? But I don't see how they couldn't, quote unquote, re-release Cassidy, change some stuff around, give him a new story, and
another new name.
Maybe another new name, but also like maybe a new peacekeeper, maybe something is upgraded, and I think that would be very exciting for the fans of that hero, right? So yeah, I'm just putting that out there.
I like the idea, Johnny. I like the idea.
I'm
going to say the Shark Tank will invest.
Thank you. Appreciate that, Avast Cuban. Thank you. Appreciate that. All right, moving on to Sombra. Minor change here. Stealth. Grace period where stealth can be cancelled immediately after entering it increased from 0.5 to 0.75 seconds. Cooldown now pauses at 1 second while capturing or contesting objectives from 1.5 seconds. And cooldown on respawning decreased from 1.5 to 1 second. So essentially you have an easier time getting enough stealth after various interactions.
Yeah. It's just like a slight buff, but it's mostly just a quality of life change.
Yeah. It's good.
Yeah.
Move on.
Love to see it. Ana, here we go. Biotic Grenade. Effect duration reduced from 3.5 seconds to 3 seconds.
It's one of the best
Healing is good.
In the game.
And
so
what is the duration on tanks now? Because that's been lower anyway, right? So 3 is for normal heroes, and what's the duration on tanks?
Is that not only stuns? Or is Biotic Grenade at lower time too?
No,
that was sleep.
Yeah,
sleep.
It wasn't stuns, right?
It wasn't bio, it was sleep.
Oh yeah, so bio's been 3 across the board then.
Yeah.
3.5 rather.
Yeah.
It was sleep.
There we go.
Yeah, you're correct. Yes, double check. That is correct.
But yeah, it goes back to your point you had earlier, that the stronger the healing is in the game, the stronger Biotic Grenade is going to be, right?
And they're doing the opposite of what should be done, but sure.
So you'd rather see healing nerfed?
For Ana's nade, they brought this. They essentially all they did was bring Ana back to the original duration of nade at the launch of Overwatch 2. So they like nerfed. They brought the duration back down after Hog's been buffed. After Hog's been nerfed, you know, it's like I almost you can like put this like in a graph of like Hog and Ana of like the nades, you know, of like where the nades rises and falls and the nerfs and the buffs. Like it's literally just a dance between those two heroes. It feels like. So, because also, I like, obviously, people have always, I think people in Overwatch 2, there's still been a relatively, and even Overwatch 1, there was a steady complaint about how strong Nade was. But every time Hog gets strong, I always notice there's an uptick in how strong Ana is. Every time, no matter what, there's always how strong Ana is with that. So, like, they're just locked in a death spiral, fighting for all eternity in the fucking healing vortex. So, I mean, you know, it's interesting because, like, I think her nade is obviously probably the most defining part of her kit in many ways currently. And I think nade also, there's like a sort of a ripple effect of like, okay, this affects the tanks. This affects how strong Kiriko is even, right? Because Kiriko with Suzu cleanse to cleanse your nade, like that's a lot of the utility for Kiriko is that. But obviously she has many other benefits besides your status, just an added bonus. So I don't know. I'm like, essentially, I'm not even like mad. I'm just like, we gotta pick a.
It's just
hard.
Yeah.
Like we gotta pick a lane in some ways because it feels like it's just constantly revolving back and forth with how you nerf or buff Hog, and then you nerf or buff Ana's nade, essentially. And I'm like, I don't know. Like it just seems very we can't pick a side type of thing.
It just directly buffs Hog. It directly buffs MAUGA, right? Like anything that requires like healing. It buffs tanks in a way in general. Although with like Sig, Ryan, they can hold shield. ORISA, like not so much, right? 'Cause you can just fortify. Although ORISA's pretty hard to kill even if you nade her, right? I think it just kind of buffs the heroes that were kind of a problem to begin with and like have healing and sustain. Going back to the conversation we had earlier when we were talking about MAUGA and Hog. And like how like healing on tanks probably is not a good idea. But yeah, I mean, they're gonna buff the nade or they're gonna buff Ana again at some point. So like, don't worry. I mean, don't worry about it if you're an Ana player right now. It's just wait a couple of months. Just wait a couple of months,
Indirect,
and she'll be back to where she was.
Indirect Suzu nerf. Let's go, people.
Yeah.
Yes,
not really,
I mean,
not by a lot, but do you guys remember? I just looked through the patch notes of Ana in the past. When Overwatch 1, Ana had 5-second nade. That was a wild time.
It's pretty epic, actually. A pretty cool ability.
5 to 3 now. It's like.
I mean, it makes sense. It's way more balanced this way, like 3 seconds. The 0.5 is going to feel like a ton, though. It's like the sleep on the tank, right? Like, I felt like when that got changed, everybody was, 3, 2, oh, he's already woken up. Like, we got to shoot him quicker, you know? Like, it was such a joke. Like, the 0.5 will feel like a whole lot, like, when you jump in and actually nade people. But, I mean, I don't think it's the worst thing in the world, as long as nade still kind of exists. I think it would be worse if the cooldown was increased. I think that would be even worse for Ana. But
I think people have been like clamoring for Ana nerfs for a while. Like I know all the quick play Andes and all the main Overwatch Reddit folks. They love to shit on Ana. They want Ana to be nerfed. So I think you know they're finally.
That's crazy
because
she might be the most fun support. Like, which is insane. I mean,
yeah, but
maybe
they always complain
Lucio
about it.
and Matthew are out there going to say otherwise, but you know, Lucio's fun in his own way. But it's funny because Ana's always been one of the most. I don't know. I don't want to say like the most balanced support, but like
I wouldn't say that.
Well-rounded ones. Yeah, best designed support.
Yeah, I'd say best designed. Yeah. I would not say most balanced.
I wouldn't say most balanced. Yeah, because but like Ana in general does take a lot of skill to pilot. It's all aim. And sleep dart is an incredibly hard ability to hit, and when you hit it, you pop off. You know, when you hit sleeping, you sleep again, it's blading or whatever, like the classic Jaehong moment. I think in general, I don't know. That's crazy to me, AVRL, that you say that. But I don't look at the normal Overwatch Reddit. Like I barely look at comp Reddit. I jumped on there the other day, and people were complaining about quick play. I was like, oh really? That's crazy, actually. Wrong subreddit, I guess. So
wrong
yeah,
subreddit.
Yeah, I mean. So
Reddit's down the hall and to the right. Trump.png.
Yeah, I don't think it's bad. It's a really strong ability. If they feel like it's too oppressive, 0.5 off the cooldown, I think it's fine. Oh no,
I view Ononade kind of like interest rates in our country. You know, you gotta raise and lower it appropriately, depending on the situation.
Just do it all the time.
If the healing economy gets out of control, then you need to buff.
If the healing economy gets out of control, you buff the interest rates. AKA, you bring up the Ononade, you decrease the Ononade down.
But if the economy is doing poorly, you gotta cut it. You gotta cut the rates. You gotta cut the cooldown.
The economy is going crazy right now.
Exactly. So I mean, honestly, they need to. If this nerf this could send us into a spiraling inflation of heals.
Yeah,
theoretically.
It could be. We've got 2 tanks that perma heal already. So yeah, let's go.
Yeah. The support healing queue time moving averages are so low right now. They're so low right now. We need to get the queue times up to like 3 minutes. If it's below 3 minutes,
I hate to break it to you, buddy. That's not going to happen.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm trying over here.
Most popular role, I think.
I feel like
2 times in quick player instant.
Yeah. In quick play, yeah.
When we're discussing like very aim intensive heroes like Ana, for example, like we just need to have like a Plat Chat console hotline to like consult some console expert to just like what the console players think about the. Just call a friend. Yeah, sure, but I mean, yeah, I actually watched some console Overwatch on stream this week. It was crazy. Those players are insane. But the meta is obviously going to be a bit different on console than what it is on PC. So because console is so big, and we all recognize that, you know, console, Nintendo Switch, like, you know, it's so popular for Overwatch. So I guess we need to find like a console Overwatch expert, and we'll just call them onto the show, just like what the console players think about on updates.
How does this affect console Overwatch?
Yeah.
Tell us. Let us know. Let us know in the comments.
What's the meta in console Overwatch? What's strong over there? What's dominating?
what's good? What's
Brian
good?
Lucia.
If we bring them on, we have to have a separate like UI, or like we have to shift our stuff where like it's like you get like an Xbox friend request or something.
Yeah.
Like I want us to have a whole separate animation every time we bring on the console.
The Xbox live screen.
Yeah, and they can only be in 30 FPS. And the resolution has to be slower. Yeah, lower.
With a shitty mic.
Yeah. With an Xbox Live headset, yeah.
You guys are being disrespectful at this point. Come on now. We're in 2024.
I'm only joking. If you
All
can't tell,
right.
Crazy.
This is some British banter going on. I see how it is. All right, let's move on. ILLARI. The developers spoke about this on Twitter for a little bit. There were some ILLARI changes coming. Solar Rifle primary fire charge gain is no longer paused by secondary fire, nor channeling Captive Sun, and ammo increased from 14 to 16. Captive Sun now fully refills secondary fire resource and resets overheated status. Remove the damage fall-off penalty on the Sunstruck explosion.
These are really nice changes. The Solar Rifle, what? The removal of the fall-off? Oh, really?
No. So there was a huge... Isn't she like disabled and is she disabled right now?
Yeah,
she has infinite ammo.
Yeah.
Yeah,
there's an infinite ammo bug caused by the new Solar Rifle changes.
Yeah. I think it's a really good change. Like, she'll feel way more fluid. Like, there was always parts in Illari's kit where it felt clunky when you were using the Solar Rifle. So, like, this just seems to shore up those quite well. And the ammo increase is quite nice as well. Apart from, obviously, you having infinite ammo, which is not epic. Quite an annoying bug, I'd say. I did see that on Reddit or Twitter or something.
On TikTok.
And the Captive Sun too. On TikTok, I do not use TikTok. And
wow.
The Captive Sun too,
game.
like fuck that. Are you serious? Are you serious?
Dude, TikTok.
I post everywhere. I post my content everywhere.
That's really awesome.
TikTok's where the action's happening. Good
for you, buddy. I'm so car pilled now. My Instagram feed is just cars. So, you know, I mean, that's all the instant gratification social media that I can put to my eyeballs. That's all I get. But no Overwatch, nothing else. Just fish and fucking cars.
Okay.
Overall, I think this is good for Illari. Like, the Solar Rifle, it felt clunky. Maybe it'll feel less clunky now. Captive Sun. And they're just, like, slowly buffing her into a point of relevancy, which is nice. Like, I think Illari's a sick hero. It requires a little bit of aim skill. The shift is really interesting to use. The outburst and, like, how you use that to, like, traverse terrain, I think is quite cool. And, like, her ultimate is pretty wicked. Like, go up in the air, like, fire a massive fucking giant beam of sun at somebody, or, like, a globe of sun. I think it's sick. So yeah, Illari's just not been relevant since she was launched because all the other supports were just better, and just pushing her more into relevancy is a good thing. If we have an Illari meta, I don't think I'd complain.
She's also just harder to play, so I just think you're just going to get less people playing her.
She is very hard to play. Like, this stage in Overwatch, people are very good at shooting the summons, and like the pylon summon, you see that, boom, instantly everybody's looking at it nowadays. Like obviously when she was launched, no one was looking at the fucking pylon, but like everybody is very good at shooting that stuff now. So
I got another new hero idea. I'm full of these today. First I came up with the 3 forms hero. And now I've got the only summoner hero. Every ability summons it and summons something.
Oh my god.
Something.
No.
You might go in timeout after that. Might just take you off the show.
Bro. Do not hire this man.
Too many summons. Too many summons.
Do not hire this guy. There are already too many summons, in my opinion. Holy
Summons
shit.
could be fun. Summons could be fun.
Yeah, what if you could have little skeletons?
Dude.
Little skeletons. Summon like a
warlock. You just run around with lots of pets.
yeah, send out pets.
You want the Halloween event, like a little skeleton robot things? You want them to fucking spawn out of nowhere and then they just send towards the back line?
It's like the Kiriko fox, but the fox can attack. And you can like, oh, go. Wait, it's like Bob, but maneuverable.
You're not even playing Overwatch. You're just playing Pokemon. You're just throwing them all out there.
Exactly.
You're the Pokemon trainer, basically.
Yeah.
No. Please.
What's that Valorant agent called with a bunch of pets? You send out the bird. You send out the dogs.
Yeah, you have the bird. You have the
you're
dog,
talking about
Breeze?
or Gecko.
Oh, Gecko.
No.
Yeah,
Well, Gecko's one.
Oh, you're talking about Sky?
Sky. You're like, like that stuff.
That's crazy. This guy's Valorant knowledge is crazy. Look at him go. You need to watch some. You need to watch some Plat Chat Valorant, buddy. Keep you up to date.
Yeah, I probably should. I mean,
That was a great impression.
Yeah, I'm part of Plat Chat. We should.
We've discussed this before, but we've reached a point in Overwatch where the kill feed can completely be filled with summons. Make a separate kill feed for the fucking summons. Jesus Christ.
Well, they had the mini thing, the mini text, right?
No, it sucks. Like, just put it next
They're
to
not
the
gonna
actual
have 2
kill
kill
feed.
feeds, Joss. You're out of your mind.
Why not?
George is cooking. I want 2 kill feeds.
Why not?
Right
Like,
back to
dude, sorry, casting that shit when all of the summons have been killed. Oh, they got the teleport. Oh, Diva Mech. Oh, a pylon. Oh, this thing. Oh, Torp turret. Oh, the fucking sim.
I can't believe this guy thinks a Diva Mech is a summon. That's crazy.
It counts as a summon in the kill feed.
That's true.
It counts as a summon. That's what I mean by a summon. It's fucking stupid. Just have like a mini
where
kill
am I
feed
gonna
next
put
to the
my
main
cam
one.
on my stream if we have 2 kill feeds?
It's a kill feed.
It's just
next
information
to the main one at the
everywhere.
moment. No, it's not. Dude, if you think the fucking UI in Overwatch is cluttered, you got someone else coming, buddy.
We don't
You
need,
got
but the
someone
thing
else
is that
coming.
you're asking to clutter it. You're being like, let's
But
get it
you
cluttered
just
up.
they're so small anyway in the main kill feed. Just put it next to the kill. Just say, look, you know, just it's fine. It's fine. It's just one little menu, bro. It's one little little slidey thing.
One more menu, bro, please. One more
Please,
menu.
just
When
one
I'm
menu.
a UI designer. Just one more menu,
Me.
please, please.
I was gonna say me when I'm in a WoW raid. Please, just one more add-on.
One more
please.
menu. When I have the
Please,
when I have
clutter
the
my
curse
screen.
mods, one more menu, please. I need to see the uptime on my upcoming
You
spell,
imagine?
my party heal.
You imagine if Ash didn't shoot, just threw out sim turrets, a Torb turret, a pylon, and the ultimate was still Bob. That'd be the summoner hero.
What are you
Someone needs to
talking?
mute
Why
this
would
guy.
Ash?
Someone needs
Why
to
would it
mute
be
this guy.
Ash? Why would it be Ash?
Because she has Bob. I don't know. I started from the Bob.
He's trying to
and I went
create a new
backwards.
summon hero.
What? Wouldn't Torb make more or Sim make more sense?
No, I just gave the turrets to Ash for some reason.
So what is Torb?
That's
do?
fucked up. Torb's got nothing. Torb's
They-
now
they all
deleted
got
from the
nothing.
game. They delete Torb now.
Ash took all the
Clear
summons
Torb.
from
Go back to
everybody and just put it
LIFEWEAVER.
in
Scroll
their
back to
account.
Can we keep going? Can we keep going?
Okay, we'll keep going. We'll keep going. Yeah. All right. LifeWeaver, Thorn Volley, projectile speed increased from 70 to 80 meters per second, so you shoot faster, like the projectiles travel faster. And pedal platform, no longer pierced by piercing projectiles. So
Okay.
I saw that clip
So,
where
like, Fire
Reinhardt,
Strike?
like the Reinhardt Fire
Yeah,
Strike,
it
even
blocks
like
it.
friendly Reinhardt Fire Strike, just like
Yeah.
boom.
It's
gone.
just like a May wall now, essentially, instead of like a
Yeah.
shield. It's just a May wall. It just blocks everything.
Which is crazy.
Which is okay. That's cool. That's good.
I mean,
did
like
see-
I'm, you know,
I did see the MAUGA bug. Anybody see that on Twitter with LifeWeaver pedal platform?
No, I
They
did not
pedal
see that.
platform up
No.
and they grip MAUGA and then MAUGA just goes zoom, like flung across the map.
Oh, I want to see
I'm
that.
like, what the fuck? Yeah, I'm not gonna be able to find it unfortunately.
Oh,
but
okay.
I don't know where the fuck I saw it. but-
Honestly, I'm gonna say
It'll be on TikTok,
LifeWeaver
Jules.
is kind of is like a sleeper pick. Not good, but I think LifeWeaver with these buffs is kind of a sleeper pick because they're actually like semi decent now. With the,
Oh, it's so
with the health
tedious.
buff and like the dash.
It's
getting,
so
like,
dumb.
Now, LifeWeaver is still like not very good, and also I find their kit purely reactionary instead of like you can't really like make plays with it per se quite as much. But I still find like like they're actually like a relatively decent-ish pick. You know, like the only time you're really ever gonna get chewed up as LifeWeaver is like you're playing into like a dive, you know, which is not really happening. Yeah. So like, I you know, it's
could be sneaky.
They've gotten to a point. I mean, but I think it's like the situation as well where I think when LifeWeaver first got announced, when they first started doing the buffs, I remember we were like, yeah, they can probably just adjust LifeWeaver's numbers to the point where like LifeWeaver would be okay, but the problem is still fundamentally with like their kit design, and I think that's like, you know, been a reoccurring issue now between like LifeWeaver to now MAUGA, right? Is like, how do we like, how do you fix a character whose kit is like wonky as fuck to begin?
You don't. You just don't. And I think that's okay for some heroes to be more irrelevant than others, especially in like a competitive like high rank setting. I think that's completely fine. You don't need every character to be viable. I think that's the main trap people fall into. If nothing like okay, bro, what is this?
Fucking Manscaped.
Dude, I can't wait until someone comes back.
Just keep talking, saying your point. Keep doing your point. Ignore.
I mean, that was it. Like some things can be irrelevant, and that's so very okay because they're always going to have playtime because quick play exists, and that's fine. I think it's very okay for these heroes to be irrelevant.
Playing against life grip is one of the most annoying things to play against.
It is very annoying.
It's super. It's you're trying to kill a tank. It's finally on 1 HP. It just gets gripped away. I'm like, all right, very cool.
I think that's fine though. I don't think that's like too bad. You're giving up positioning, right? Like it's not too much of a. If it was just like a bubble shield that like healed them as well, like, and they stuck there and they were just invulnerable for a bit and they healed. But nah, it's fine.
I see it. If I want to give it the worst interpretation possible, it's like a res that you can't interrupt. Because at least res, you're like, maybe I could kill the Mercy, maybe I could use like some sort of interrupt. The life grip is like, well, you just can't do anything. It's just gone. It's like, all right.
No way Solomon found the clip. Solomon's not even fucking here and he found the clip. What a legend. The guys.
Wait, what?
There you go.
Oh, it's from
link the clip. Dude, what a beast.
Australian Overwatch player, newish. Here we go.
Yeah, there you go. LifeWeaver MAUGA thing. Bring this up on the stream.
Oh. Boom. Okay, that was not what I expected. But
I don't even know what happened.
Apparently you can do this with Reinhardt too, where you just yeet them.
Yeah, what is happening though? Is it the petal platform? He says, MAUGA says, got him right where we want him, and then he just gets yeeted?
No, is it because of the MAUGA's ult?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like, yeah, and then he ults.
It's got to be the ult.
It's got to be the ult, surely.
All the way back, yeah.
Yeah, that's so silly.
It's a little silly.
Little rubber banding, like that.
I remember the glory days of Genji tech. You catapult yourself. I can't remember what it's called. You remember that? Yeah. What's that called in 2016? Someone in chat remembers.
Dashing?
Triple jump.
Ledge dashing. That was sick. That was awesome. That was cool as hell. Love that.
Dude, did you guys see all the Hasidic Jewish guys build those tunnels in New York City?
Oh my god! Can you shut up? Oh my god! Like what the fuck?
Was crazy.
Who are you?
That's wild, man.
Yeah,
dude. I have to say, like, you're talking about tech. Like, we're about to get the tunnel boring hero. Like, do you think they're gonna be Jewish?
Oh my god!
What the fuck?
Last has been on holiday for a month, and this is what he comes back with.
Yeah, guy is unhinged.
Well, just think about it though. Like, wouldn't that be crazy? Like, they're just like, actually,
building giant tunnels.
Part of their backstory is they're avoiding COVID restrictions in New York City, and so they built a bunch of tunnels between them and the worship said place of worship, and so we have to dig through the map. I'm like, oh man, dude, there's a Jewish grocery store near me. I went there recently. It was pretty good actually. I got some it was like this brand of Jewish chocolate that I've never had before, and they had like a corn, you know, like a rice cake.
Yeah,
they had that, but it was like corn. It was like
Johnny's just accepted this,
and it was good. It was good. It was a corn. It was like a corn cake, and it was like, I was like, damn, this is actually pretty nice. But it was with cream cheese or something. I was like, damn, they know what they're doing over there.
Yeah, they got
what they're doing.
Great soups, great sandwiches.
Yeah. They had a good bakery too. I was like, damn, like this is kind of popping. It's a little bit further away from me, but you know, if I want to pop in, perhaps just pop in. Be
Yeah.
like, what's up, guys? We all love the tunnel here. Any tunnel lovers? Any New York City tunnel lovers?
The matzo ball soup goes crazy. I love that.
I never had it actually.
Why are you laughing at, bro? It's delicious.
Dude, we're in the off season. We can do what you want.
Yeah.
No one gives a shit.
Yeah.
And
you go to New York, you get some good pastrami sandwiches and some matzo soup. It's great stuff.
I haven't been to New York in so long, bro.
Well, I had to take an Uber through New York to get to my fucking train station to take the Amtrak to go to DC recently. But other than that, I haven't really been to New York. I've just been in LaGuardia Airport a lot.
Last time I was in New York was before COVID when I landed in the States. And I went to New York for the first homestand.
Guys, what if we do a guy's trip to New York?
No.
Ooh, that'd be epic. I'll be down.
Why?
No.
Why do you immediately? So you don't want to see me in Miami? You don't?
I don't want to travel. I traveled so much in December.
You don't give a shit.
I am pausing. I'm pausing travel. I want to play video games. That's what I want to do.
You know who lives in New York?
Maybe at a.
Matt Morello.
Mr. Matt Morello.
I don't think he lives actually in New York though. I think he lives outside New York.
I don't think he does. Yeah.
He probably lives in like New Jersey or something. That'd be like. That'd be.
He's 45 minutes drive at least.
To a meetup. He's close enough.
He's close enough. We could just go crash at his place.
Yeah, he'd love.
Yeah,
that,
he'd love that.
sure.
Yeah,
he would love every second.
Yeah, he'd be down with that.
I don't know if you have more topics, Johnny. I'm pretty sure you didn't.
I have one more. Yeah.
Okay, sure. Do you want to go on that
topic?
Well, I don't know. It's the way you start off the episode.
I didn't think you did either.
Oh, right. Oh, this topic. I see.
Albert tweets. Looking for team, I guess, for New Year. So
I fired him.
Makes sense, actually.
Why did you do that, though?
Makes sense.
I said, honestly, I'm tired of this fucking guy's energy and his NBA references all the time. And so I said, time to get rid of his ass.
Showing you how to do push-ups and stuff. He's trying to show you up.
He does dress way sharper than you as well, so it makes sense.
Yeah, well, it's easy to do. It's easy to do when you don't need real work like myself. So you have more time to dress.
He doesn't dress for Florida. He dresses for New York.
Yeah, well, he does. It felt, he. Well, I'm not gonna say the whole full story, but he was in New York, and he caught the flu, which I don't know anyone else in America has got the flu that was running around, but bro he's had a rough time of it because he got fucking rolled by flu too. Damn. So it's been a tough time for Albert Ye, but he's it's also just a wider situation with like the Overwatch ecosystem right now because like, does anyone know shit what's happening?
No.
Mod check? Anyone?
No.
Anyone know anything?
No.
So
any knowers?
Yeah, I mean, and he's not even like honestly, he's built like a balanced roster and like he knows other games. He's a very talented GM and he knows like the business side and the brand side of it stuff too. But like realistically, the uncertainty of all of this stuff does not help to keep on to a very good GM and esport manager. So, it's a tough situation.
It super sucks for Albert, but the knowledge that Albert has now from being a GM for like a sports team, that's like invaluable knowledge. Like you can't really learn that in school, and so like you can totally take that to other esports or even traditional sports if you want to, right?
He's got an MBA. Like he has like he's worked. He's also worked other jobs before this. He's not like an esport baby, where like a lot of people like have only done esports and they're just like, holy shit. Like, granted, to be fair, like I think if you can survive in esports, you can probably survive in the corpo world, in my honest opinion. But it's it's just a situation right now where like, there's a lot of uncertainty across the board, and Overwatch Esports is still like, hey, what the fuck's going on? And I'm sure anyone that could have made any decision about that has been out of office for a month and a half, so if not longer.
I know why he got left to go. It's because of the World Cup. Vince Spoon was like, you let America down, and I'm gonna have to let you go now.
Yeah, it's like I let Team USA boot camp in my office, and then this is how you repay me? No win, not even a silver medal.
Possible. It makes good working
sense,
theory, Avril. Good work there. Good investigative journalism right there.
Just a patriot, you lose and you represent
Maybe he'll
America.
go to collegiate. Maybe he'll become a esport director. At a
get a job at a college.
That seems to be like that. Well, yeah, because that seems to be. Like fucking, they're building Overwatch League teams in collegiate right now in North America.
Yeah,
they're building Overwatch League teams. Man, they announced the one that's like, it's like RuPaul.
RuPaul,
Sam, Tree, Kaluge, like they have like they're just building Overwatch League teams in the collegiate system in North America currently. So
yeah.
Was that, is that Redbirds or what?
No, that's Winthrop, I believe. Winthrop. It has Wheats as their coach.
Oh.
They have someone I'm fucking forgetting that I
sounds like a very stacked team.
Boom.
But yeah. Oh yeah, Liar, of course. White Chio. Couldn't forget White Chio. So yeah, they and a UV. Yeah, and also UV. So like, I mean, they literally have an Overwatch League team there. So like, I mean, so does multiple other rosters, to be fair, in collegiate at this point. But that one might be the most consistently Overwatch League across the board.
That is an extremely cracked team.
Yeah.
If there are tournaments next year or this year, that would be POG. So we could see this team.
If there are tournaments, guys.
You don't think it's tournaments this year?
Any tournaments, guys?
Does anybody know anything about what's happening?
No one knows shit. So
yeah,
I don't know.
Exactly.
I know
don't know anything.
I know everything.
Oh, he knows everything.
Oh my god.
The new commissioner of Overwatch Esports, AVRL, he announcing it right now.
Reddit would love that.
They made Mark Zimmerman the commissioner of LCS, so you know,
they did,
going from talent to commissioner is actually viable.
The pipeline is there. So true.
Yeah, but unfortunately, you have to have a league to be a commissioner. So
that's true.
that's the other problem.
Damn.
That's the other problem.
That hit too hard of us.
Yeah, you know, I mean, you could be a director. Like, I mean, VCT has like their global esports lead with like Leo, but like, you know, he's not there. I don't, or is he the commissioner? Let's see. Is he called the commissioner? Let's see. Leo Faria is global head of Valorant Esports. So yeah, they don't really have a commissioner. So
yeah,
you have to have a commissioner. Yeah, to be a commissioner, you have to have a league, and to have a league, you have to have a commissioner. But unfortunately,
there's like 5 esports heads in Riot. They all it's like a 5-headed dragon of esports over there. Like I don't know, they all do the same job.
The Hydra, of course, the Hydra.
The famous.
Yes. So maybe one name will announce over. I mean, you can change the background now on your Overwatch launcher. You know, you can put it back to the Overwatch League. Like that's the background. I don't know if you guys saw that.
Wait, what?
You can change it?
Really? Yeah, I saw someone talking about it on like
on the launcher or Overwatch.
It was for Overwatch specifically. They released the ability or like something. I saw people were like they were changing their backgrounds. I have to go fucking find it, but like they were changing the. I don't know where's
my camera go?
What the fuck?
Hello?
What's going on? What's happened? Hello?
Johnny's gone. Hello.
Can you not hear me?
I hear you. Yeah.
Yes,
What's
we
up?
can. But I was like, did the whole stream crash?
I don't know. I started up Battle.net and everything just nuked. So.
Oh.
Wow.
Yeah. But all right.
Thank you again, Manscaped and ExpressVPN, for launching this product.
Well, there it is. Whoa, look at it go.
Because 2 heads are better than 1.
So true.
So true.
Well, that's it. What did I have a point? What was I saying? I don't know.
No,
what I was saying.
no, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Do you guys want to do Bren's player that we can get out of here?
Sure.
Yeah.
We should do 2 because I missed out on my Bren's play of the week.
Dude, no. We already done that. We already made up for that. Okay. Yeah, we already made up for that. Yeah.
Did 2 last week or what?
Yeah, we did 2 last week.
2 last week. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So sorry about that, AVRL. Look, we did an hour 45-minute episode in the off season. That's pretty strong. It's pretty powerful.
Yeah.
I'm proud of you guys. Yeah. So yeah, we need to decide on Brent's player of the week though. Do you guys have any suggestions for Brent's player of the week?
Albert?
Honestly, I'd be down. Honestly,
hey, got the flu, got laid off. Like his
player of the Overwatch League. Not strongest soldier. Overwatch's strongest soldier.
One of the strongest soldiers to ever do it.
Also, mode.
Like, I mean, he really is like superhuman because he's bounced back. Like, I'm not even talking about like specifically on a professional level. Like, I think if we took Albert's genes and put them in a lab, we could create like some very powerful human beings because like
remember we got COVID in Korea, like
dude, he just bounces back.
He was back.
And then he's still drinking the whole time.
Yeah,
so he drinks. And then on top of that, bro's like lactose intolerant and eats like 80 pounds of dairy and shit and just shits his brains out and is still good. He's just chugging along. He does not stop. Bro's like, yeah, I had like 20 drinks last night, woke up, did my workout, caught the flu, like went to the gym. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like,
he is a superhuman.
I think that's the life hack. I think if you get a disease and you're lactose intolerant and you just eat a bunch of cheese, you can shit out the disease.
What?
I don't think it works that way because otherwise dysentery would be a very short-lived disease if you just poop it out. So, and then in fact, I'm pretty sure dysentery has killed like the majority of human beings ever. Still, so yeah, I don't know if that would work.
All right. Well,
there you go. Albert.
This week's Brent's Player of the Week goes to Overwatch's Boba Fett. Albert, yay.
Why is he isn't
Boba Fett the one that they like copied the genes of in Star Wars?
No, wasn't it like, Jango Fett?
Is it Jango Fett?
Honest,
Oh, it might have been Jango Fett.
I don't remember the family.
It was Jango Fett.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. Overwatch is Jango Fett. There you go. Sorry.
Okay.
My bad.
Okay. Well, we haven't copied his genes.
Well, you suggested we do that, and then we can build an army.
But I'm sure
and can build an army of Albert J.
You weren't too far off because Boba Fett is a copy of Jango Fett. He's a clone.
It's his son. But it's like
why is his name? Why is his name Boba? Does he like tapioca? Like why Boba?
No, I don't think tapioca exists in Star Wars universe.
Do you think he like goes to his local like his local tea shop and he shakes it up and it's like passion fruit green tea, tasty, you know?
Yeah, maybe George Lucas is like, I really like boba tea.
And also, if there's a Boba Fett, does it imply that there's like a crystal Boba Fett? You know, where it's like not quite the same? Like, what do you guys think about that?
Yeah.
Perhaps a jelly Boba Fett?
This sucks. Please end the episode.
This is awful. We're out. See you next week. I don't know what we're going to talk about.